often on the show that wrestling nowadays doesn't have the same serious edge and is much departed from the way it was perceived and presented in the past. If there was one wrestling pay-per-view or taped event you could show to a fan, which perfectly illustrated match quality, presentation, effective storytelling, true in-ring talent, and legitimate competition, what would it be? Which event is wrestling the way it used to be and the way we liked it, in your opinion?
Oh, good God. And first of all, just like we were talking a few minutes ago, that you can oversell when the people are really into it because that's what they want to see and they'll look right past it. It doesn't look phony at the time. That's the perception of it at the time, but in an inopportune time, you go back and you look, there was still plenty of hokey shit in wrestling, and there was some silliness, and depending on the territory, but it was of the kind that fit the logic of the universe that wrestling lived in. It didn't make the business look stupid. It made the particular heel look stupid, or whatever the case. We've talked about this before, where it's not the fact that nothing can be entertaining. It's the fact that you can't break the fourth wall in wrestling. It doesn't work, right? Once you have winked at everybody, then you're doing a whole different thing. And I mean, I don't even know that any particular pay-per-view is definitely top to bottom the answer. There have been great pay-per-views, but then there's also been every great pay-per-view maybe had a fucking I remember, goddamn some real stinkers underneath WCW's classic pay-per-views of the late 80s, early 90s, whatever the fuck. There was still a stinker match on everything. Even it didn't. Maybe Canadian Stampede, the WWF show from Calgary, where they did the 10-man. They only had 4 matches, so they couldn't fuck that up too bad. That was one of the best pay-per-views they ever did. But going back to the territory days, you don't have an entire show, an uncut show from start to finish that illustrates when everything just cooked on all cylinders, the perfect night of wrestling. Because a lot of them weren't recorded and they don't exist anymore if they were. I think you have to point to examples of this is a great kind of world title match, or this is the perfect old-fashioned territory brawl, or this is a classic high-spot tag team match, or whatever, instead of trying to worry about an entire show. Can you think of one show, top to bottom, that epitomized everything about wrestling that we all loved and nothing about the hokey shit?
I love Bash 89, but I'm not crazy about the Pillman-Bill Irwin match. And the two-ring battle royal I enjoy, but that sort of does have the...
Yeah, well, it is awkward to watch and awkward to shoot, and it wasn't... Yeah, see, Starrcade 86 had some turds, or some moments where, oh, God, especially the way that the tape was edited down. So I think you have to look at specific instances. And then... Once again, timing is everything. I've seen guys that have torn the house down in some places, have stinky matches in others, and been involved in some of that. So it just depends.